Hi, I'm Morgan. Welcome back to my channel. This isn't the video I was anticipating doing this week, but something came up today that I decided to share instead. And one of the questions that gets asked a lot on some of the forums I'm on Facebook are suggestions for daily readers. So in terms of incorporating good habits into a morning and evening routine, one suggestion is to read something inspirational. Towards the beginning of my boot camp, I had broke out a copy of a book that I've had for a while, Discovering Your Soul Signature. Can you see it? And it's a 33-day path to purpose, passion, and joy. And it's broken up into a morning, noon, and evening reading with the intention that you go through the book systematically in 33 days. And I started it again. I've started the book multiple times. Are you seeing a theme here? I've started the book multiple times, and if I missed a day or missed an afternoon because I forgot to read it on my lunch break, I would just put the book away because I didn't do it perfectly. Seems to be an ongoing theme. When I started the book, it was towards the beginning of the Brightline Eating Bootcamp, so that would have been the middle of July. And I would have periods of time where I was very consistent with reading it, and then I'd have periods of time where I would bring it with me somewhere to read in the afternoon and forget where I put it and not read it for a week. So we are now in the middle of September, so it was 2.5 months, not 33 days. What's interesting about that is that each day goes through a different emotion, and he starts with much heavier emotions, and then it works to kind of a more higher vibration as you progress through the book. So day one, just to give you an idea of how heavy it is, this is not for the faint of heart. Day one is fear. Day two is sadness, anger, guilt, shame, self-judgment, patterns, addiction, the ego, I'm not good enough, shattering inner sabotage, triggers, soulful surrender, change and more is coming. You can see how it starts to get, that's day 14. It starts to get a little bit lighter. After you have really looked at and dealt with some heavier, darker emotions, and if you were going through this process, it's actually, you might be doing some of that on your own without any guidance, that when you start to give up sugar and flour, you are going to find all kinds of things coming up. When you give up any addiction, whether it's drugs, alcohol, anything that you are soothing to separate yourself from pain, and you clear that out of your system and abstain from it, you're gonna have to be faced with those emotions in a very real, direct way and figure out how to cope and deal with them without running to your comfort, whether it's sex or bad relationships or cigarettes or wine or ice cream in your freezer. I highly recommend it. It's a wonderful book, even if it takes you much longer to go through than 33 days. I'm glad that it took longer to go through, because I think that I kind of got to where I needed to be in the book as I was actually getting there, and it didn't happen time is not linear to begin with, but for me it just wasn't like cleared that, cleared that, cleared that, cleared that. I think things needed to be integrated a little bit more. But today, this afternoon, I read the afternoon reading, the noon time reading, and it told me to get out the letter I wrote to myself a few weeks ago. This is dated for July 30th, 2020, so it was definitely not just a few weeks ago. I completely had forgotten about it. I started digging through my desk drawer. I'm like, I think I put it in here, and I found every card that's ever been sent to me before I got to this one. I am going to read it to you. It is a letter to myself on what I wanted future me to know I was working on. I don't remember quite how he had worded it. I should have looked that up before I hit record. So, dear Morgan, I want to truly surrender my life to Source. I want to trust that I am being led to where I need to be and that my higher power will help me use my gifts for a higher purpose. I do not want to squander my gifts by being afraid. I want God's will to be done in my life for the highest good of all. I want to constantly be grateful for where I am on the road to where I'm going. I want to trust, love, and embrace the changes as they come. Love, Morgan. I started this. Maybe it's appropriate that it took a couple months to go through the book, because the boot camp's a couple months, and this process of bright line eating, maybe you should be warned. It is a very holistic approach to health, and that it is, oh my God, the crying. It is not just about losing weight, and that might be a little scary for you. It's a very holistic approach in that it is going to address your physical body, and it is also going to address your soul and your spirit. And this has been such an incredible growing experience for me, and you do not have to enroll in the boot camp to embark on that journey. It did help me this time to find a couple people to bring along with me. Not just finding Courtney, who's my bright line eating buddy, but we recently just started a small mastermind group, and I'm very much looking forward to that. Serendipitously, it was a woman that I had friended on Facebook through another bright line eating group a year or two ago. I'd have to go look, and it turns out they are in real life friends and live in the same area. There's just some things that have been happening lately that I'm like, that's not an accident. Even when we're unaware of it, we really are truly being led to where we need to be. And I also want to thank you guys. I have had people reach out to me via different social media platforms or make comments in here. I even had one person try to make me a video to thank me and send it to me via Facebook Messenger, but it was too long and it didn't go through, but I was still like, that's the sweetest thing ever. Thank you so much for letting me know that if something I said was encouraging or it resonated with you. At some point, if I keep doing this, I will probably delve into some topics that are more in not the physical body, but the mental aspects of mental health and my history with that and recovery from that part of my life. One I remember years ago, it was probably about 7 years ago, kind of the pinnacle of a mental health crisis. I had reached out to a family friend for help, and after the crisis had ended, I said, you know, I thank you so much, you saved my life. And his response was, no, I didn't. You did that. You were the one that reached out and called when you needed help versus going on with, whatever terrible plans I had that made sense at the time. And we spent a lot of time together, and it really shaped and changed me. It did save my life, but it hit me years later. He's right. I did that. I took that information. I took that valuable resource that was this retired psychologist. I heard what he was saying, and I really took it to heart. And you are going to come across so many people in your lifetime who are going to be messengers for you. We get them every day. If you hear something and you take that information to heart and do something with it, that person doesn't get to take credit. That is all you. You did that. You were the one that saved yourself and helped yourself. And that is why we're on this earth. Is it Rumi that says we're all just walking each other home? I think we're all just walking each other home. And everybody is doing the best they can. So that wasn't the video I was planning on making. I do recommend Discovering Your Soul Signature. Very good book if you're looking for something to incorporate into your morning and evening routine while you're doing this process, or even if you're not. It was a wonderful experience, and thanks for being here with me. It really means a lot, and your words mean a lot, and wherever you go from here, it's all you. You get to take all the credit. So have a great week, and I will do the video I planned on doing today another time. Okay.